Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Growing tired of knots, tangled up in problems, and not caring enough. Now I'm on a journey to find what's right, always telling the truth.
Hey, this is EAJ Man from Autopsy Live and the Skype Pirates. When I want to make it look like I don't give a shit about sports, I tune into Sports World Radio with Jeff Escow.
Jeff Escow.
Doing about time.
from San Diego, it's Sports World Radio. You've never heard a sports show like this. Oh, no, you haven't.
Oh, blow me.
You got it.
Holy fucking shit.
What in the hell is your major malfunction?
Can't believe that goddamn son of a bitch did that fucking crap.
Don't give me any of your shit.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. Those are your hosts, Jeff Ascow and Sean Mann. Remember, those who can't play sports, talk about it. These two tell it like it is. Tune into Sports World Radio for the fastest hour of sports of your life. So here they are, the douchebags of sports themselves, Jeff Ascow and Sean Mann.
Hey there, kiddies. What's up, Sports World Radio in the house? Glad everybody could be with us today. Got a jam show. Lots to do and not a lot of time to do it in because we do this show each and every Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. on the West, and if you live in the Central,
Figure that out for yourself.
wow, check him out. He's ready to go today. That's right. That's the co-host, Sean Mann. We'll bring in that rat bastard in just a minute. But before we do that, I'm going to get all the particulars out of the way. You're listening to us, or at least I hope you're listening to us on SportsWorldRadio.com or Honest Answer Radio or Good and Plenty Radio or Philly Beerman Radio. We're all over the place. That's right. We're everywhere. Thank you, everybody, for listening to us out there. Head on over to our Facebook page. Like our Facebook page at facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. Also, follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio. Now, if you're hanging out at SportsWorldRadio.com listening to the show and you have Skype, that's right, I said if you have Skype, there's a little red icon on there on the left-hand side of the page. You'll see it right there, blammo. It says call now. Skype users only. You click that button and you will be calling the show. You got any questions, comments, anything, Skype users, click that red call now button on SportsWorldRadio.com. For non-Skype users, give us a call at 619-663-3715. That's 619-663-3715. Now, with all the particulars out of this way, what do you say, hey, we bring in that loudmouth over there, Mr. Sean Mann, the update man. What's going on there, buddy?
Good afternoon, Jeff. How are you doing in the West Coast? It is 3:07 p.m. on the West, which makes it 6:07 p.m. on the East Coast. It is Tuesday, July 15th, 2014. Of course, today is the 85th, everybody, the 85th Midsummer Major League Baseball All-Star Game. And I know that Jeff and I will be watching tonight. I know Encyclopedia Man will be watching. We got a lot of that stuff to get to in the second hour. And Jeff, you ready for tonight's game?
Eh.
Well, come on, man. That's something to watch. You know, the World Cup is already over, which is a good thing.
World Cup. Who the hell gives a fig Newton about the World Cup? Who gives a flying fig Newton about the World Cup? Listen, I didn't watch an ounce.
Neither did I.
Not a single centimeter. Not a single strand. Nothing of soccer. Every time it came on my TV, click. I changed the channel. What are you kidding me? I can't stand that crap. Hey, if you want to come in and you're listening to us over there on Sports World Radio, and you want to come over and hang out with us on the chat room, or in the chat room with us, head on over to Spreaker.com. That's Spreaker.com. Get yourself a free account. Once you get yourself a free account, type in Sports World Radio and come on over and hang out in the chat room with us over there. You can ask us questions over there or give us a call or whatever. Soccer. It's like watching hockey on grass. Who said that?
Encyclopedia Man.
No, Nicholas. Nicholas said that, right? It's like watching soccer's like watching hockey on grass. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I was just responding to what the Encyclopedia Man says in the chat room. The World Cup should be renamed the 16 million chin cup. Ha ha ha!
I kind of
Very
like
funny.
I kind of like what Dr. Miss says. Ode to the World Bathroom Cup.
All right, our
kinda
first
like that,
story that
man.
we get to before we get to that
Hey, wait a
first commercial
second.
break.
You missed yesterday's beginning of the show because you were running late. We didn't get to do our normal bull that we do. How's the weather out there? Where are you, in Iowa?
In Idaho, the weather
Why
is
do I
91 degrees.
Why do I always think you're in Iowa when you're in Idaho? You're in the land
Because
of...
you're probably thinking, Jeff, about the Field of Dreams site where I had that new profile picture that my cousin took for a picture.
You've been with me for 6.5 years, almost 7 years now, right?
6 years in October.
6 years in October, and I still think you live in freaking Iowa. What the hell's the matter with me?
It happens.
It's Idaho, the land of potatoes, right? There's only two things that come from Idaho: potatoes and hoes, right?
Well, yeah, but I have to say, you get on me about running late yesterday. Unlike Dr. Myth, who was 2 hours and 45 minutes late. What the heck were you doing, Dr.
Hey,
Myth?
Well, what do you want from the guy? It's freaking 12:30 at night there in freaking England.
Because we're used to him always showing up on time and trying to rub it in everybody's faces.
Okay, well,
I couldn't tell.
maybe the guy was out on a hot date. Maybe he was
sleeping in the bathroom. Who knows?
Maybe he was getting himself some.
Who
Did you
knows
think
with
of that?
Dr. Myth? It's hard to tell with him some days.
I know you wouldn't think of that because you're still. Well, I'm not going to say it, but I know you wouldn't think of like that. One of these days, I'm taking you to Las Vegas. I'm taking you to the Bunny Ranch, and I'm going to do it to you, man. I'm going to have it. I'm going to have it done to you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Oh, my gosh. Are
I'm
you
telling
serious?
Yes, I'm telling you. When we take this freaking thing, I'm telling you, man, it's going to happen to you. When we're going on our freaking road trip, I'm telling you.
You're
It's
taking me to
happening.
Vegas first.
Taking you to Vegas, I'm taking you to the Bunny Ranch, and you're getting yourself some.
Lovely. I'll be ready for that. Weather right now is 91 degrees. It's very hot today.
91 degrees out there in Idaho?
Yeah, it's going to be really hot
Idaho.
tomorrow, but 91. It stormed yesterday.
Idaho. Hey, Sean, do you see on your screen there on the Spreaker? Everybody who's looking at their Spreaker screen right now and listening to the show, I want you to do me a favor, please. Please, I don't ask for many favors. I want you to do me a favor. Over by the volume button there, right? You see where the volume button is, Sean?
Mm-hmm.
Right above the volume button is a heart, correct?
Yeah,
Click that heart and make it dark.
I did.
Everybody do it. Click the heart and make it dark. That means you're liking the show and you're liking the episode. I want everybody every time when they come into Sports World Radio on Spreaker.com into the chat room, click the heart to make it dark. You like that saying?
Yes. And how is the weather for you, Jeff, in San Diego, and how are you doing today?
Well, yesterday we had a couple of raindrops during the show.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Today, today is not the normal sunny San Diego day. It's cloudy, gray, and a tad cool, which is kind of nice for a change. Normally it's 95 and freaking hot, but it's a tad cool. I'd say it's like 80. That's cool. It's a little tad good. It's comfortable out here today. I turned the air conditioner off before we even started the show. Shows you how comfortable it is here in the studio. It's nice. Normally by now I'm sweating my buns off because it's 90 outside and it's 120 in the studio. Don't forget, on Friday's show, the second half of Friday's show, we're going to bring Josh in, and we're going to talk some Battleground pay-per-view for the WWE, since Josh and I are big fans of the WWE. We're going to be talking about that on Friday in the second hour of the show.
Our first story that we get
Better
to...
make it quick, buddy. Better make it quick.
All right, today, the big news in the NBA, Dwayne Wade has said, I'm staying in Miami. He signed a 2-year
really?
deal with the Miami Heat.
A 2-year deal? Sean?
Yeah, 2-year deal.
A 2-year deal? Is that a coinky dink that LeBron James signed a 2-year deal also?
Yeah.
So the only one that signed a 4-year deal was Bosch with the Heat for $118 million, correct?
Correct.
That's a joke and a half, man.
So Bosch is staying in Miami for the 5-year deal, and Wade, 2-year deal.
Yeah, Wade signs a 2-year deal, LeBron signs a 2-year deal, and Melo signs a 5-year deal, and the Chicago Bulls are Amnesty Boozer?
Yeah.
Carlos Boozer. I hate that freaking guy. I hate that freaking guy. I pray that he does not go to the New York Knicks. I can't stand that freaking guy.
On that note, we're going to talk more about this, but we have to run to our first commercial break.
Sports World Radio.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
What kind of person gets to work in the sunshine instead of an office? This kind of person. I am the new way to work. I do have an office. I'm just not chained to it. It's a Regis office at one of the nicest addresses in the city. I don't have a lease, so I don't have to budget for stuff like phones, IT guys, and artwork for the lobby. Instead, I pay one low monthly rate that gives me a beautiful lobby that impresses my clients, a friendly receptionist, a fully furnished office, a place to meet, and a place to brainstorm with my fellow New Way to Workers. We wonder why more people don't realize that the new way to work is the best way to work. I come here because I want to, not because I have to. I am the new way to work, and I'd like you to join me.
Start now and get 1 month free. Call 1-800-OFFICES or visit regis.com/TV.
Hey everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Sports World Radio back in the house. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann with you guys for the next 2 hours, because that's what we do, 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. on the West, and if you live in the Central,
Figure it out for yourself.
figure it out for yourself.
On our last story that we were talking about, yes, Dwayne Wade, he signed a 2-year deal with Miami. With the Heat bringing back Bosch and Wade, my question to everybody is, does this make the Heat a playoff contender? I don't consider them an NBA championship contender, but do they make the playoffs next year? Jeff?
Yeah, they make the playoffs. They'll be in the mid-range, 4, 5, 6, right around there, I think. I think that's where they'll be at, right around there, 4, 5, 6.
If you keep thinking about it, I know how you feel about ifs, Jeff, but if LeBron James would have said, my talents will stay in Miami, I'll stay with them, then they got a very good chance to have the big three back. All they got is 2/3 of that big three with Bosch and with Wade. But, of course, everybody now, like Jeff, is so sick of them saying from the experts that Cleveland is going to be the heavy favorite.
I don't understand it.
From the Vegas odds, yeah, if Jeff was in Vegas, you'd be saying to all those people, what's the matter with all you people? How can you say that?
I don't get it. With the roster they have now, what are you kidding me? Get the hell out of here. No way. And you know what? Same thing with Miami. They can't win it now. They're done.
Heat are in the middle of rebuilding their team. And, of course, you know Pat Riley is just fed up, like you said, and disgusted. So is Heat owner Mickey Arson. Now, here's what the Encyclopedia man said in the chat room. He said, heck no, they're barely a 7 seed. And then, of course, the Encyclopedia man adds,
yeah, I know. I see it.
Vegas are LeBron.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, unless they make some more moves before the season starts, if they get Kevin Lowe, then it's a different story. But right now, what are you kidding me? Come on. I don't get it. I don't understand it. The East is just wide open right now.
It pretty much is. After LeBron's big move and that him going back to Cleveland, it doesn't belong to Miami now. Now it's wide open. And, of course, I agree with probably Magic Johnson's 3 teams, but I still rule the Wizards out. I still say with Paul Pierce being 36 years old, the Wizards aren't really considered, in my opinion, a deep threat in the Eastern Conference.
I don't see the Wizards winning it. I don't see Miami winning it. I don't see Cleveland winning it. I don't see the Knicks winning it. I don't see the Nets winning it. Anything else? I don't see Indiana winning it. I see the West winning it again. I see the West representative team winning it again. The East just got watered down even more now. You thought it was watered down last year? It just got watered down even more by LeBron going to Cleveland.
Yeah, it's wide open, but still, when you think about it, it's still not, in my opinion, going to make anybody stronger in the for the Eastern going up against the Western Conference. I still say the West is a bit stronger than the Eastern Conference.
The West is way stronger now. The East just got weaker by LeBron going to Cleveland. And Josh, you're absolutely right. Josh Lopez, our producer of the show. Right now, every broadcaster in the mainstream are narrow-minded and biased. We are the real objective broadcasters. That's right, because I'm telling you, there's no way, as of right now, I'm talking about right now, boys and girls, as of right now, there's no way Cleveland's going to win the freaking NBA championship. There's no way Miami's going to win the NBA championship. There's no way the Knicks are going to win the NBA championship. There's no way Washington's going to win the NBA championship. There's no way. Who else am I missing? Who else am I missing? Cleveland, New York, Miami, Washington, Brooklyn. They're not winning it. Brooklyn's not winning it. Indiana's not winning it. There's six of the top teams right there in the East, right? They are not winning it in the NBA Finals. I don't care.
I have to admit this. I really think that the team that has the best chance of winning it next year is the defending NBA champion San Antonio Spurs. They have all the pieces back to be another
Absolutely. Absolutely. And with LeBron James, and nobody's saying this, and it disgusts me that nobody's saying this. So you know what? I'm saying it. With LeBron James leaving Miami and going to Cleveland, if you thought that the Eastern Conference was bad last year and weak, you ain't seen nothing yet, because it just got weaker by him going to Cleveland. I don't care what people are saying. That's the truth.
Well, here's what the Encyclopedia man says here. The Chicago Bulls will win the Eastern Conference. That's my prediction, but not the finals.
You want to know something, Josh? As a New York Knicks fan, that disgusts me. But as a broadcaster and a person who does sports talk radio every day, you're absolutely right.
Frank, what's your take about the Eastern Conference? I wait to hear.
Personally, I happen to think the Bulls are probably the best team in the East right now. And you noticed I didn't put the Bulls in those 5 or 6 teams, did I?
No.
I happen to think that the Bulls are the best, with LeBron leaving Miami, because Miami, without a doubt, those 3 were the best team in the East, right? Without a doubt, correct? With
Correct.
LeBron leaving, and going to Cleveland where they got freaking really bunch of young guys, okay? As of right now, Chicago's the best team in the East. And as a New York Knicks fan, that disgusts me. But as a sports talk radio guy, I have to speak the truth, and that's the way it is.
You have to tell it like it is.
I have to. They're better than Miami. They're better than Indiana. They're better than New York. They're better than Washington. They're better than all of them. Better than the Nets. They didn't lose anybody during the offseason, did they? Except for Taj, right? They lost Taj, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's it, correct?
Correct.
Hopefully Rose can come back and be the Rose that they expect. They added Pau Gasol, for Christ's sakes. They amnestied Boozer. They're going to do something else. They have to be the best team in the East right now. And that disgusts me saying it as a New York Knicks fan.
Frank, you hit it right there, buddy. I have noticed it throughout LeBron James' playing career that it seems like the biggest rival that he is. Actually, there's 3 rivals. The Bulls, for one. Number 2, I would say, would be the Detroit Pistons. I know when he was with the Cavs and Pistons had some great matchups when they met in the Eastern Conference playoffs. And third, it would be against my Boston Celtics. I would say that there's 3 teams. But you are right that LeBron against the Bulls, there have been some good matchups over the years, going back to his days of Cleveland. But, of course, pretty much I remember LeBron going up against the Bulls back in his days with the Miami Heat.
Taj Gibson is still with the Bulls? He didn't sign with the Heat?
I think so.
Josh? Because Josh is telling me that Taj is still with the team, but I thought I saw him sign with the Heat.
I think so. The next story we get to, he'll find that out for us. The Wolves and the Warriors, they restart the Kevin Love talks. The Minnesota Timberwolves and the Golden State Warriors have reopened trade talks for all-star forward Kevin Love. A person with knowledge of the situation told the Associated Press on Tuesday. And remember, Jeff, his name has been big, Kevin Love, because with LeBron James signing the 2-year deal, he's intrigued about signing a contract to play alongside LeBron James. But if that doesn't happen, it seems like the Wolves and the Warriors are a perfect match, a good fit here for a possible trade situation. What's your thoughts about this?
Okay, it was Luol Deng that left. Thank you, Josh. Thank you. Thank you. It was Luol Deng that went to Miami Heat. Thanks.
Timberwolves president and coach Flip Saunders was seen talking to Warriors general manager Bob Myers at the arena on Sunday as the two sides look to bridge the gaps that caused discussion to stall. The Warriors have been reluctant to include shooting guard Klay Thompson in any package. And Jeff, a lot of free agency left to go. Do you see a trade taking place between the Timberwolves and the Golden State Warriors for Kevin Love?
I happen to think Kevin Love's going to end up in Cleveland. How about that?
That's a good prediction because he's intrigued by what LeBron James is doing. He's probably saying, well, if he can go there, I wouldn't mind playing alongside with him, and then we got a good, powerful team in the Eastern Conference.
And Mike Miller was supposed to go to Denver, and he stopped that trade because LeBron went to Cleveland, and now he's going to end up in Cleveland too, I think. And so is Ray Allen. So you got a bunch of old guys now. What?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Plus, nobody's talking about their freaking coach. Guy's never coached an NBA game in his freaking life. That's what really
that's a problem.
That's
there
what really
for Cleveland
pisses me off.
Cavalier fans.
Yeah, that's what really, really, really pisses me off.
And I can agree with you for being irked and disgusted about this, Jeff, because you're right. The guy doesn't have any experience coaching in the NBA. Like I've always said, the Cavs would have been better off if they were going to get LeBron James back, having Mike Brown back there, because there was a connection between LeBron James and Mike Brown, and that would have been just fine because then he would have been able to work out differences just like James did on Friday with Dan Gilbert.
And
the point is that you need somebody with experience. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of system that Blatt runs as the new coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Exactly. Nobody knows the system, what he's going to run, what the heck they're going to do. That's why I kind of find it ironic that he went there.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of weird that the experts in the sporting media is jumping way ahead here, thinking that the Cavaliers are going to be heavy favorites. And I'm saying, well, what about the new coach? I don't know anything about him. And if Kevin Love goes there, he'd have to learn the new system too. I think it'd be better off if the Timberwolves and the Warriors would stay with this package of making the trade.
Who will be coaching LeBron this fall? How many people know the name David Blatt?
I don't.
Not many people know the name David Blatt.
I even looked up the stats for Jeff, and I was like, I didn't even find much. Even the encyclopedia man could not find much either.
Because he's never coached in the NBA before, and I don't care what anybody tells me. Coaching in the NBA is a different animal than coaching in international play, in the Jerusalem League, in the Israel League over there in Russia, in the China NBA. I don't care. It's a different animal. It's not the same.
Way different.
Way different. And the guy's got no experience whatsoever. That's why I was dumbfounded when he said he was going to Cleveland. Hey, we're going to run to our second commercial break. You're listening to Jeff Eskow, Sean Mann on
Sports World Radio.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Why does consultant Jerry Howell stay at La Quinta?
Can you come back tomorrow?
Because only with La Quinta can Jerry instant hold the room tonight using just his phone number. And then power down for tomorrow on his pillow top bed. And when Jerry's refreshed, you know what he does?
We need ideas, people. Think.
Synergistic integration.
Genius.
He thinks outside the box.
I'm going for it. No.
La Quinta Inns and Suites take care of you so you can take care of business. Instant hold your next stay on your smartphone at LQ.com.
La Quinta.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Eskow, Sean Mann, right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. Also, our chat room is in Spreaker.com/user/SportsWorldRadio. Come on over and hang out with us. Or just go over to Spreaker.com, get yourself a free account, and find Sports World Radio and come hang out with us that way in the chat room. Either way, it doesn't freaking matter. All right, Sean Mann, what do you got for us next, buddy?
Well, the next story that we go with, we move to a little bit of Major League Baseball. We'll save the All-Star. Actually, we're going to go to NFL right now. In the NFL, Chris...
What, are you confusing yourself a little bit over there or what?
Just playing it cool. Chris Clowe's lawyer threatens to sue the Vikings. Former Minnesota Vikings punter Chris Clowe intends to sue the team over allegations of anti-gay conduct by a coach, his lawyer said Tuesday.
Jeez Louise.
So the Vikings getting sued by the Vikings punter.
And isn't whatchamacallit on that team?
His name is Chris Chloe.
Chris Chloe. Oh, Michael Sam is over in St. Louis. This happened in Minnesota, right?
Yeah,
Where the All-Star game happens to be, correct?
correct.
Crazy. Hey, let me ask you a question. How many
Yeah.
days until football training camp?
Let's see.
Was it
Well-
16 days, 15 days?
About 10 days left, and I know that for the Giants and for the Bills, they will be in training camp earlier than the other teams.
Yeah,
because
you know
Hall of Fame is August 3rd.
You know why the Giants are playing in the Hall of Fame game this year, right?
No, why?
Because Michael Strahan's going into the Hall of Fame.
Oh,
That's why. So the Giants are playing in the Hall of Fame game because Michael Strahan's going into the Hall of Fame. Did you know that? He's going into the Hall of Fame this year.
no, I didn't. Are you going to watch the Hall of Fame there, Jeff? And watch
yes,
Strahan?
yes, I am. Yes, I am. There's not many Hall of Fame inductees or Hall of Fame that I watch. There's a few of them I watch, So Tony Gwynn, Cal Ripken, a bunch of others, but I don't watch it every year. I just watch the people I want to see. You know what I mean? So, yes,
Yeah.
I will be watching that.
Thank you, Frank. Yeah, the Bills open up on Friday, and the Giants open up, I think, 2 or 3 days later. Yeah, that's because the two teams are going to Canton, Ohio for that Hall of Fame game, and that should be fun to watch. I usually watch it sometimes, and it's great to see the players.
I hope
inducted
Eli
in the
does. I
Pro
hope.
Football Hall of Fame.
I hope Eli don't play in it, man. I don't want him to get hurt.
Oh, he'll play. He'll play probably a series.
That's all. I don't need that. I don't want him to get hurt at all. I would rather not. I would rather not see him play that because it's too soon, man. Come on, that's early. He doesn't really have to play that game. He could play the next preseason game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it would be safer, or even the third preseason game.
Oh,
Yes.
so Frank, you'll be busy. You'll be watching the Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. That's coming up. And then in Cooperstown I'll watch that, and the Baseball Hall of Fame, Chicago Field with Frank Thomas, Greg Maddux, and my boy Tom Glavine.
Yeah, I'll be watching that too because I like those guys as well.
Played on some great Braves teams, Maddux and Glavine did. And then, of course, what do they call Frank Thomas? They call him the Big Hurt because he used to play with the
Big
Chicago
Hurt.
White Sox.
The Big Hurt.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, don't forget, coming up at the top of the hour, we got Frank Sprankle coming on the show with us today because it is Tuesday. He'll be coming in at the top of the hour for the second hour of the show. And today, since it is All-Star Day in MLB, and we do this every year, every single year, day of All-Star game, we're going to give out our half-season awards. Isn't that so, Sean?
Yes, our half-season awards.
Okay, which ones are we giving out? Give the list to the people.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what we're giving out for the list, we're going to do Manager of the Year.
Half-season. Manager of half, yeah.
Yeah, half-season Manager of the Year. Half-season Rookie of the Year.
Uh-huh.
MVP.
Mm-hmm.
And Cy Young.
There you go.
There's 4 of them, so it's a pretty easy list. Just go on the internet and look. I had to do that for mine, like we all do.
Yeah, just
Frank
go on
says
the
he's
internet.
got his ready to
He's
go.
got his ready. You got your ready. I'm flying on the seat of my pants like I always like to do because that's the way I like to rock and roll. And I'm sure Josh has got his ready, so he can type his in when we get there and get to it. So the second hour of the show is going to be kind of fun. What's your next topic you got for me there, homie?
All right, the
Homie
next story
clown.
that we get to, the Alex Rodriguez drama continues. We go from one story with the Vikings to another. Alex Rodriguez is sued by Owen Hoyer over legal fees.
Yeah, what else is new? They couldn't get him out of it, so he doesn't want to pay him. I don't blame him.
Been a long nightmare for Alex Rodriguez.
He's gonna
no
go.
question
He's
about it.
gonna go. He's gonna go broke in lawyer fees. You know that, right?
Right.
He's gonna go broke in lawyer fees, man. He's probably running out of money.
My question is, should the Yankees, I know nobody else would want him, but should the Yankees, before the start of the 2015 season, Should they just say, you know what? We've had nothing but misery with you, Alex Rodriguez. Let's let you go and cut you.
They still got to pay him.
Yeah.
They're going to pay him.
Alex Rodriguez faces a new challenge. He is being sued by his own lawyer. Attorney David Cornwell's law firm filed papers Monday in Manhattan federal court saying the New York Yankees star owes more than $380,000 related to their work fighting his steroid suspension.
Yeah, and they couldn't get him off, so he doesn't want to pay him. He couldn't get him off, so he doesn't want to pay him. I mean, it's that simple. Right?
Right.
Now he doesn't want to pay him. Now they got to sue him to get the money. Now he's got to hire another lawyer.
Dr. Myth, you bring up a good point. They should just bench him and let his contract run out.
Well, they could do that. Just have him sit on the bench. Well, he's not even in Major League Baseball right now. He's out.
He's just causing trouble for his own self.
Correct. He's just causing problems for himself. Doesn't matter what the hell he does in Major League Baseball because he's not doing nothing.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, that when he comes back, he's going to cause distraction again for the Yankees. The Yankees have to figure out some way to get rid of him, but it's not going to be easy for that to happen.
Do you really think he wants to come back?
He probably feels like, you know what, I've already won one championship in 2009, although baseball should take that away, and he shouldn't even make the Hall of Fame. I think he does want to come back, but the Yankees better just say they've had enough of this guy and time to cut him out. Trying to say, boom, I'm done with you.
I think so, too. I think they need to cut their losses and be done with it.
Alex Rodriguez admitted in February of 2009 that he used banned substances from 2001 to 2003 while with the Texas Rangers, before baseball had penalties in place for performance-enhancing drugs, but he has denied using them since.
See, I'm so done with Alex Rodriguez. I don't even miss him being in baseball. Do you?
I don't miss him at all. He's a troublemaker.
No, I don't miss him at all being in baseball. Not one bit. And right now, the Yankees are sitting in third place. They're 5 games out. 5 games behind Baltimore. Baltimore, baby. Hey, who did I pick to win the East? Baltimore, right?
Yeah, you picked the Baltimore Orioles to win the AL East, and right now they're 52-42.
Yeah, they're up by 4 games over Toronto, 5 over New York, 9.5 over Boston and Tampa Bay. Hee-hee!
Well, Jeff, like you've always pointed out, your wish may come true in a few months that you won't have to worry about Boston or New York in the playoffs this year.
Okay, how sad is that? It happens on Derek Jeter's last year. The one year he wants to make the playoffs, and he doesn't. And neither does a Boston or the Yankees. How great would that be? Woohoo!
That would be like a shock, and it would kind of be like weird for baseball fans, because then they'd be like, well, no Boston or New York. We might as well just enjoy with what we got, but it sure is going to be weird.
Hey, I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Since we're talking baseball, right?
Yes.
Is Samardzija in the All-Star game? And if so, which team is he on? The National League or the American League? Because if I remember correctly, he got voted in on the national side and then got traded to the A's. So does that mean he doesn't get to be in the All-Star game?
I'm not sure. The encyclopedia man would have to look that up.
Or is he in the All-Star game as a Chicago Cub, even though he's an Oakland A?
No clue.
How crazy is that?
And here's another big question, too. Why do we have to always wait after tonight's game 2 days off, tomorrow and Thursday, and then all MLB games resume on Friday? Boy, that is a long break if you ask me. Bud Selig.
Yes, Josh. Yes, Josh. It's for both leagues, the American League and the National League. We're giving out our half-year awards in the second half of the show today. American League and National League, correct.
Jeff and I have been doing this like the last, I think 4 years we've been doing this. Last 3 or 4 years, so it's been cool.
So,
and then wait till October.
Frank, I can't read the story. Just tell me what the freaking thing says. Is he going to play for Oakland, or is he going to play in the American League in an Oakland uniform, or is he going to play in the National League in a Chicago uniform, even though he plays for Oakland? How funny would that be? How great! Has that ever happened before?
Not sure.
You don't know if that's happened before? If any player has played for a team like that? Like this little confusion that's going on with this? Because I think that's pretty funny.
Frank says he won't be playing for either team.
He will not be playing for either. What do you mean? He's not going to be playing in the All-Star game? Because he got traded, he lost his spot? That's not fair. If that's what happened, then that's not fair.
That isn't fair, and I can't wait to hear what Frank's perspective is about that.
We got to get Frank in here. We got to talk about that. We're going to have to get Frank in here. So Marjorie will be introduced as a National League player and will wear a neutral national uniform? That's a joke.
And on that note, we have to run to an update.
Yeah, you know what? We're talking more about this when we come back from our update and our commercial break. This update is brought to you by shirtshopper.net. Football season's coming, kids. Head on over to shirtshopper.net and get your football shirts today. Shirtshopper.net. Head on over there and click on their sports tab and then click on the drop-down NFL and then pick your NFL team and get your NFL team shirt today. Shirtshopper.net. Take it away, Sean Mann, with the first update of the day.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. Welcome. 46 minutes past the hour. Tonight in Major League Baseball, it is the 85th Midsummer Classic between the American League and the National League. It should be a great game tonight. You'll be able to catch the game. It is on Fox Sports, and your pitchers for tonight's game. In the National League, it'll be Adam Wainwright starting for the National League, going innings before they have replacements. And for the American League, it'll be Felix Hernandez starting for the American League. John Farrell went with him. Pretty simple how this game goes tonight. Whoever wins tonight's game will have home field advantage in either the American League or the National League. Last year it was the American League prevailing, and of course the Red Sox hosted the World Series, and it just turns out that they won that. After tonight's game, there will be 2 days off, Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday is when all the action starts for the critical second half of the season. In other news to report, this is a big, big story. Bud Selig is eliminating Chu. He's making it a goal. As the recent death of Tony Gwynn to the gland cancer continues to resonate in baseball circles, Commissioner Bud Selig and Players Association Executive Director Tony Clark both want Major League Baseball to make strides and ultimately eliminating the use of smokeless tobacco in the game. So they're working very hard to getting that prohibited. In the NBA, here's the big news. Dwayne Wade, he's staying in Miami. He signed a 2-year contract, so he'll be playing alongside Chris Bosh. While LeBron James, as you all know, will be playing with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Pau Gasol has found a new home and a new destination, and that would be the Chicago Bulls. He'll be playing alongside with Derrick Rose and of course, having Coach Thibodeau being there to coach him. As the Celtics, Lakers, maybe the Knicks are still in the rebuilding phases, even though the Knicks did get Carmelo Anthony re-signed to that contract. As the NBA free agency is becoming bigger and bigger. Kevin Love is exploring opportunity of maybe going to the Golden State Warriors, as the Warriors and the Timberwolves are possibly looking at a trade. But, of course, Kevin Love is still intrigued with playing with the Cleveland Cavaliers. That'll do it for this update. We're going to go to a commercial break. This update was brought to you by ShirtShopper.net.
I had PTSD. Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family.
We had a reunion of our unit, and you'd hear these spouses say, "Is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us," and really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too. Don't wait until it's too late.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Boys and girls, what's going on? Kids, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Yes, I did it. I couldn't wait. I had to do it because I need him in here to talk about this because I don't want to make a fool out of myself, and he's there, and he knows what's going on. We brought in Frank Spreaker a little early. What's going on, Frankie?
Oh, I got to tell you, gentlemen, I'm looking forward to the game tonight, although if you factor in interleague play, and obviously that has been an occurrence since 1997, really nothing new along those lines. It has taken away from the mystique of the game, the mystique of the World Series as well, obviously. I got to tell you, this stipulation of having the home field determined by the winning league in the World Series in terms of their representative getting game 1, and if necessary, that 7th game, that is utterly ridiculous. I want to go back to 2003, U.S. Cellular Field in Chicago. That was the first year of that stipulation. Hank Blaylock, remember him from the Texas Rangers? He hit the go-ahead home run for the American League team. I don't remember where the Rangers finished in the AL West standings. They weren't a good ball club that year, I'll say that.
They were horrible.
I know, they were horrible. They may have even been in last place that year. But to have Hank Blaylock's home run determine home field advantage, and he doesn't benefit from the winning prize, that is an absolute pathetic joke. And Bud Selig, as commissioner, hope he's leaving at the end of the season because there are many things this guy has not done right with the game of baseball.
I think he signed for maybe, I think until next year or 2016, Frank. He doesn't have very many years left. I would say, here it is, the 85th Midsummer All-Star Game.
I believe you're right.
And as we sit here today and we talk about this, the worst All-Star game for me was 2002.
Absolutely, Milwaukee.
Yes, in Milwaukee. The game ended in a 7-7 tie. And, Jeff, you remember very well, that was when Bud Selig announced the winner of that game gets home field advantage. If it's the American League, that team represents home field advantage. And, of course, that was the year the Angels were the wild card.
Let's not get far. Let's not get why I brought Frank in early. Okay? Why are they doing this to Samardzija?
This is utterly ridiculous as well.
And
Jeff
disappointing.
Samardzija was voted on, and granted, he should be able to pitch or at least be on the roster. I'm not saying come into relief. I believe managers should be playing to win the game, not to showcase everybody. But I believe since Jeff Samardzija is now a member of an American League ball club, that being the Oakland A's, then he has the right to be part of the American League roster. This doesn't happen often. Now, on an interesting note, you guys, before coming into the break, were mentioning what I was texting into the box here about how Jeff Samardzija will be counted as an all-star. Let's understand this. Jeff Samardzija, his first time as an all-star.
But a National League all-star in America or an American League all-star.
But the bottom line is he's going to get credit for being an all-star. You can't take that away from Jeff Samardzija, edged in stone. However, he is going to be introduced on the National League team wearing a neutral National League uniform. It's the batting practice uniform, the batting practice top, the batting practice cap.
Right.
That's what he is going to be introduced as. Now, there was the possibility, that's not going to happen now, but there was still the possibility that Samardzija could have played in this game as a member of the American League wearing his home Oakland A's uniform. That would have been if an American League pitcher had suffered an injury over these last few days. Obviously, that doesn't happen. So Samardzija, credited for being an all-star, will have to watch this game from the dugout. How disappointing.
That sucks.
Absolutely.
You can blame, I talked a little bit with Bud Selig about that. They'll probably come up with some reason or excuse why they have to do it that way.
For me, personally, he was voted in on the National League side. He should be wearing the Cubs uniform and be on the National League side. And then when it's over, and if he has to face his teammate, he has to face his teammate on the A's. Who cares?
Well, he's not a member of the Chicago Cubs anymore.
Well,
I think it should be the fact that he's wearing the team uniform that he is now. But I still think he should have been the All-Star game wearing an American League uniform as a member of the Oakland A's.
Hold on a second, though. But he wasn't voted on the American League team. He was voted on the National League team.
But he's currently an active member of an American League ball club.
I understand that.
Okay, but case in point, how about 2002? Dusty Baker, he took the San Francisco Giants to a World Series. Well, Dusty Baker wore the Chicago Cub uniform the previous year as the manager of the National League team, and that was in Chicago on the South Side. But anyway,
what's wrong with that?
Point, I'll take your way, Jeff. At this point, I'll take your way. I think he should wear his Cub uniform. That being the second option.
I mean, they're really depriving him of playing in the game.
Well, you know what? As far as the All-Star game goes, it is an absolute joke. Home field advantage. You know, you're talking about the 2002 game, Sean. Here's how you can tell that nobody takes this game seriously anymore. Not even the fact that home field is at stake for the winning league. But you look at 2002. Remember early in the game, Barry Bonds hit what looked to be a home run, and Torrey Hunter of the Minnesota Twins reached over the wall and said access denied with the lever. Well, here's what happens. Barry Bonds, in between innings, comes up, picks up Torrey Hunter, and boy, what a huge contrast as opposed to 32 years earlier in which you had Pete Rose just bulldozing into Ray Fosse with the go-ahead run in Cincinnati at Riverfront Stadium.
You have to remember, going back to 2002, Jeff and Frank, about how ugly that one ended. There was a lot of frustration from everybody that could have been really, really bad, because in August of 2002, baseball was very close again to going on strike. It almost did. Remember that? Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. I was in pins and needles. I was on pins and needles. I thought they were going to go on strike. I thought this was inevitable. And sure enough, there was a last stay, which actually had a huge sigh of relief for me.
And it just turns out that it was your Cubs, Frank, that played, I believe it was the St. Louis Cardinals, and the ball had not been thrown, and everybody said baseball is going to go on strike. And finally they threw the first pitch. But the reason why they didn't do it, they didn't want to have a repeat of 1994, because next month is the 20th anniversary of that strike, which really took people away from the game for a long, long time.
Greatest baseball season that never was. Greatest baseball season that never was.
There was a lot of stuff that happened in 94. Yeah.
How about the first year of the 3 divisional play? You had the 3 divisional. It's now 2 wild cards. Back then it was 1 wild card. So for the first time ever, you were going to have a second place team in a division in baseball in both leagues make it to the playoffs. That had never been done before. You had the Montreal Expos. They were cruising to what was a divisional title in the National League East. Let's see. You had Tony Gwynn. I mean, Tony Gwynn had his best season ever at the plate, but that was disrupted on August 12th.
Montreal, real quickly. Montreal at that point was 76-48. They were well on their way to winning that whole National League East. Probably they would have won the whole thing that year.
You know, I'm wondering what the encyclopedia man Josh is saying. Sox should have won that year. I don't know if they would have won the World Series, but I'll tell you this. They would have been in the playoffs. I think it would have come down between potentially them and the New York Yankees. Jeff? Remember, the New York Yankees had returned to prominence at that point, too.
Well, yeah, that's when they had Buck Showalter. But, Jeff, before we run to commercial, how disgusted were you when baseball went on strike 20 years ago?
Didn't bother me at all.
Didn't bother you at all?
Nope.
As a Padre fan, when you were
Fear
seeing Tony Gwynn?
I despise Donald Fear to this day. You know that, don't you?
Didn't bother me at all. I could care less. 20 years ago.
Okay, let me ask you this. What was it like for you when the NBA went on lockout mode?
I was
in
pissed.
Fall of 98 and then in
99. That was 98, 99.
Right, I'm not talking about the fall of 9. Yeah, but I'm talking about the fall of 1998 and then the fall of 2011 again.
No, I was pissed off. Yeah, but baseball I could care less.
Got to run to commercial.
Off. Yeah, let's run to our quick commercial break. You're listening to Sports World Radio. We'll be right back.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
My mother made the best toffee in the world. It's delicious. So now we've turned her toffee into a business. My goal was to take an idea and make it happen. I'm Janet Long, and I formed my toffee company through LegalZoom. I never really thought I would make money doing what I love.
We created LegalZoom to help people start their business and launch their dreams. Go to LegalZoom.com today and make your business dream a reality. At LegalZoom.com, we put the law on your side.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too.
Don't wait until it's too late. Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Hey, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, and Frank Sprankle, the Mr. Windbag himself, hanging out with us doing Sports Talk Radio here each and every Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. on the West. And if you live in the Central,
figure it out
would
for
be
yourself.
5 o'clock.
perfect, boys.
What about the mountains?
What about the mountains? Let me ask you a question there, Frank.
Yes, to answer your question, I've been to the Mountain Time Zone. Carry on.
Do you live in the mountains?
I've been there.
I didn't ask you if you've been there. I asked you if you lived there.
It would be nice.
Do you live in the Mountain Time Zone? No.
What happens if I say
no?
No, I don't.
Okay. Sean, do you live in the Mountain Time Zone? No.
No,
Jeff,
I used to.
Jeff, do you live in the Mountain Time Zone? No. So you know what I say about the Mountain Time Zone? Screw them.
Screw them.
Figure it out for yourselves also. Screw them.
Anyway, as
How
we were
many
talking,
people?
during
How many?
commercial break,
Frank, hold on a second. How many people do you actually think that are listening to us in the Mountain Time Zone?
There's got to be some, but unless of course they are out exercising, you got to understand those people in the Mountain Time Zone. They keep themselves in great shape because they got all the mountains to hike. So right now, I would probably have to say not many, but there's some.
And if you live in the Mountain Time Zone, and if you live in the mountains, you really don't get much internet, do you?
Wait a minute. Doesn't everybody... Wait. How do you know that for a fact?
Well, it's hard
it's
to
all
get...
broadband, by the way.
Well, it's hard to get internet in the mountains, man.
Anyway, as we move along, tonight is the 85th annual Major League
What's it
Baseball
to you?
All-Star Game, the 85th Midsummer Classic, with Minnesota hosting it. The last time Minnesota hosted an MLB All-Star Game was 1985. That's when they played in the Metrodome. Got to ask you, Jeff and Frank, what do you guys think of Target Field? Do you think it's perfect to play the All-Star Game? Do you like that? That's a pretty big field, isn't it?
Yeah, if it's raining.
Nice ballpark, but when that ballpark was built, it should have had the retractable roof capability because from 1982 to 2009, the Twins played inside the climate-controlled Metrodome, which meant that any precipitation was protected from by the roof. I think that's unfair for the fans that have experienced games without rainouts. They should have had a retractable roof on that ballpark.
You know what really...
Beautiful facility, but it should have had a roof.
You know what really irks me? Is that Petco Park has not had an All-Star game yet.
I've noticed that, too, that San Diego and Petco Park should have one. I think
That
it'd be great
irks
for
me,
baseball
man.
if they had that.
Wait a minute. 1992. That was the last time that San Diego hosted the All-Star game. That was Jack Murphy Stadium.
Correct.
1992.
Correct. Petco Park is 10 years old. How old is this park here that they're playing in?
4 years old, Jeff. It
Thank
came out
you
in
very much.
2010.
All right, next year it's in Cincinnati in a ballpark that opened in 2003, and that would be the Great American Ballpark. But there's other ballparks that need to host. All right, you're right about that. But then Major League Baseball needs to look, in addition to San Diego, great point, well taken. But then after San Diego, they need to look at Nationals Park in Washington. Washington has not hosted the MLB All-Star Game since 1969 when the Senators were in existence, and then it was played at RFK Stadium, which I think it was renamed RFK around that time, considering Robert Kennedy had been assassinated. But you have to have it there. You have to have it in Miami. Miami has never hosted an All-Star game since the Marlins came into existence in 1993. You do have a Marlins Park. So really, San Diego needs to host it. Washington needs to host it, and Miami needs to host it.
What about Coors Field? Has Coors Field
1998.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Coors Field.
98.
But I agree with Jeff. I think that's what they need to do.
Let me ask you this.
Petco Park is a great ballpark. And I know, Jeff, you've been there lots of times because you've lived in San Diego a lot during your life. You just went to a Padres game a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool with the Tony Gwynn statue.
Could you imagine all those people on the hill waiting for home run balls to fly during the Derby?
Come
I mean,
on,
we have it in
man.
San Diego.
Can you imagine what the park and that whole area, that grass is going to be like hitting freaking balls out there?
I'm talking about for the home run derby the day before the
I
game.
know. It's going to be a free-for-all. It's going to be beautiful.
Dude, wait a minute. You won't be able to there won't be any breathing space because everybody will want to be on the hill out there in left field.
Exactly. It's in right. Is it in left field? No, it's right field, I think.
Right field, pardon me, right field. Yeah. Well, you've been there. I'm just
Yeah, right field.
visualizing. I cannot
great,
wait
man.
to check out a ball game there. Well, let me ask you this. I'm thinking back to 2006 and 2007, and here's something that was kind of odd. Major League Baseball, for some reason, and even years later, I'm still having a hard time figuring it out, but 2006, it was in Pittsburgh at PNC Park. 2007, it was at AT&T Park in San Francisco. Back-to-back years, it was in National League ballparks. It wasn't rotating 1 year National League, 1 year American League, vice versa. Next year, it's in Cincinnati at Great American. Why not, to accommodate some of these newer parks, maybe San Diego hosted in 2016?
Exactly what I'm saying.
Because hasn't pretty much everybody in the American League hosted it, at least the new ballparks?
Yes.
Well, Frank, I was going to ask you, bud, were you disappointed that Wrigley Field, it's the 100th anniversary of where the Cubs have been for 100
I know where
years.
you're going with this.
Yeah.
Ask the question. I know the
Are
question.
you
to ask.
disappointed that Wrigley Field did not host the All-Star game this year?
Not at all. Not at all. There are other ballparks that, first of all, let me answer this a few points here. One, because of what Jeff is saying, there are other ballparks that should host it before Wrigley Field. Wrigley Field has hosted 3 All-Star games, 1947, 1962, and 1990. I remember 1990 very well. The game was delayed by rain. The American League won 2-1. Julio Franco of the Texas Rangers wins the MVP. Now, take this also in consideration. While it is Wrigley Field Centennial, and I want to personally say before we move on how blessed I was to be at the birthday game on April 23rd. April 23rd, the Cubs played the Arizona Diamondbacks. They had 1914 uniforms of the Federal League. It was the Chicago Federals, the first team to occupy Wrigley. They had their uniform. The Arizona Diamondbacks wore the Kansas City Packer uniforms because that was the Federal League team they hosted the game against. But as far as Wrigley Field goes, understand, it needs a renovation project. That has been the talk of the news lately as far as the Chicago Cubs have been concerned. The renovations. There is, Sean, a 5-season renovation plan that they were hoping to start last offseason. They weren't able to get it. There is legal matters involved. There's city council matters involved. And as a result, it's going to take 5 off seasons for Wrigley Field to be re-gutted and look just as good as new, keeping the mistakes such as the marquee, the ivy-covered brick in the outfield, the scoreboard in center. It's also going to include a jumbotron in left, new signages and whatnot, new concrete, new dugouts. The list goes on and on and on. Sean, I'll say this. Likewise, Jeff, too. Once Wrigley Field is completely renovated, once it's all said and done, renovation complete, it looks good as new, then Major League Baseball should and will award Wrigley Field with the All-Star game.
Yeah, that'd be a good thing that they could do to fix that up.
They
Now,
got to
here's a
get the
question.
renovations first. It's got to be completed.
Here's a question, Jeff, for you, Jeff, and for you, Frank. Some of your most memorable All-Star moments. This is 85 years we're talking about with the All-Star game. What was one moment that you enjoyed the most with watching the MLB All-Star game? Like, what did you like the most about it? Like for me, 99 All-Star game, I've been enjoying that video so much of, I'm sorry, Jeff, got to be a homer, Ted Williams coming out on the cart, Fenway Park, and I thought it was a perfect way to end the century to play the All-Star game at Fenway. Frank?
I would have to say 1990. But 1990 at Wrigley Field, because this was my favorite ballpark, still is to this day. And to see Wrigley Field 2 years after getting lights, remember, it wasn't a lit ballpark until 1988. 2 years later, they host the All-Star game. And it was a low-scoring game. It was delayed by rain, as mentioned. But to see the All-Star game and the Home Run Derby, which was run by a Cub, Ryan Sandberg winning the Home Run Derby, I got to say for me, and I'm probably being biased, being that I'm a Cub fan and it's my favorite ballpark, Wrigley Field, 1990.
Jeff, what about for you?
My favorite field?
Yeah, your favorite. What was the most memorable All-Star game you remember?
Does it have to be baseball?
right,
yeah,
you have a
MLB.
non-baseball.
Or I guess he's probably talking about the NBA because he probably would say, I'll follow the NBA All-Star game instead of the MLB All-Star game.
1976 NBA All-Star game at Brendan Byrne Arena. I was at that one.
Let me ask you this. From that era, Jeff, did players play with more intensity than they do now in an All-Star game?
Oh, hell yeah.
Dude, that's why. Did you know I actually fell asleep during an All-Star game once, an NBA All-Star game?
Really?
I'll tell you this. I will not even watch the NHL All-Star game.
The only All-Star game that really isn't kind of thrown is the baseball one.
I think for me, with NBA All-Star, it's going to be out of any All-Star game. With the NBA, it was 11 years ago. That was the one down in Atlanta, Georgia. And Michael Jordan, when he hit one of those most memorable turnaround jump shots that just woke the whole crowd up when he hit that in Atlanta. Remember that?
Listen. Yes, I do. 11 years. That was his final All-Star game as a member. Of course, he was with the Washington Wizards. May those 2 years of Michael Jordan, and I'm a Chicagoan. I love all the memories Michael Jordan brought to Chicago. May those 2 years in Washington be null and void. The Wizards didn't even make the playoffs.
And on that note, we're going to run to commercial break. We'll be right back after this quick message.
What kind of person gets to work in the sunshine instead of an office? This kind of person. I am the new way to work. I do have an office. I'm just not chained to it. It's a Regis office at one of the nicest addresses in the city. I don't have a lease, so I don't have to budget for stuff like phones, IT guys, and artwork for the lobby. Instead, I pay one low monthly rate that gives me a beautiful lobby that impresses my clients, a friendly receptionist, a fully furnished office, a place to meet, and a place to brainstorm with my fellow new way to workers. We wonder why more people don't realize that the new way to work is the best way to work. I come here because I want to, not because I have to. I am the new way to work, and I'd like you to join me.
Start now and get 1 month free. Call 1-800-OFFICES or visit regis.com/TV.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
That's the only way to get these guys to shut up is start counting down, and they both shut up at the same time. It's beautiful. You should have heard the call on hold, guys, while we were at commercial break. Yappity, 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 yappity. These two guys, they never shut up.
Isn't that great? Dude, who do you want? Who do you want? Do you want a person with high top character that talks, or do you want a person that as dull as toast?
Sometimes I would like a person dull as toast.
Do you like toast?
Yeah, I do, actually, with a little bit of butter on it, yeah.
You know, I like jelly. I'll tell you what. I like jelly with eggs,
I like that.
eggs and bacon.
I like to make some toast, put a little butter on it, and then put a little jelly on top of the butter.
By the way, I don't know how to cook unless it's... Oh, actually, do you know I know how to cook?
What do you mean you don't know how to cook?
I can tell you how to cook. Seriously, it is. I know how to cook. It's called putting in something in the microwave and putting it on for 10 minutes.
Come on, man.
That's how I cook.
We go back to some all-star memories.
Hold on, wait a second, Sean. Hold on, wait a second, Sean. Hold on. You're going to let him drop that bomb and move on? Really? You mean you stick something in the microwave and that's how you cook?
Yes. Thank God for the microwave oven. It has made idiots like me be able to cook.
The hell is that all about? You know, when we're done with the show today, you know what I'm going to go and do? I'm going to go inside the house, and I'm going to make chicken cutlets and spaghetti from scratch.
And watch the All-Star game.
I'm not going to make a package out of it. I'm going to take the chicken cutlets. I defrosted them last night, and I'm going to make dinner. Microwave. Get the hell out of here.
Microwave ovens have made my life easy.
That's why I would make somebody a great husband, because I know how to cook.
Well,
Frank,
you know,
we go back to
No more. Okay, let's move from the All-Star game stuff.
Well, here, wait a minute.
No.
Man.
Hold on. I don't care. We have things we need to do,
well,
and
as
we are
Joe
running
Burner would
out
say,
of
I'm
time.
a damn handsome man, so I would be a great husband for any woman.
We have things to do, and we are running out of time to do them. So we are moving on to do them. We have our despite the fact, yes.
Despite
the fact, yes. I don't care. Don't say it. Don't say it. If I say despite the fact, yes, we're moving on. That's all you need to know. We're running out of freaking time here. And we got a lot to get to. We got 2 leagues to get to, boys and girls.
Oh, the awards.
That's right. What do you think we're doing here? Playing tiddlywinks?
Hey, I'm ready, dude. I have my awards penciled
I know. We
in.
got
I'm
the
just
awards to
following
get
lead.
to.
Listen, I'm
Hey,
what am I
no.
supposed to lead or follow?
Shh,
I'm
shh,
following.
No, okay.
You lead.
Hey, I am leading. Both of you. Be quiet and let me lead. Here we go. We have our half-season awards to give out on our show today for Major League Baseball. We're bringing Frank in this year, right, Sean? Usually it's just me and you, right?
Right.
We're bringing Frank in this year, and we're going to let Josh do it from his house and put it in the and type it in the chat room. So he's getting involved this year. Anybody else hanging out in the chat room that wants to do this, you're more than welcome to type yours in as well. Sean, what are the awards we're giving away? We're doing it in the National League and the American League.
Yeah, our candidates for today, we're going to do Manager of the Year, we're going to do Cy Young, Rookie of the Year, and MVP from both American League and the National League.
That's right, and we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. Okay, Sean, start us off, buddy.
All right, Jeff, Frank, Encyclopedia Man, Dr. Myth, our first topic we're going to get to, the American League Manager of the Year. I went Bob Melvin of the Oakland Athletics.
Bob Melvin of the Oakland Athletics. They're doing pretty good, the Oakland Athletics, aren't they?
You know something? Oh, hold on, Frank. You know something about the A's? They have always – everybody feels like, oh, they won't be good. Their time is running out. The A's, Billy Beane really knows how to recruit young prospects, and they are
still
such
playing
a young
Moneyball.
team. Oakland is going to be very tough in the second half. Watch out.
Frank, he's still playing Moneyball up there, ain't he?
I believe he is. That's a great movie. I had a chance to see with Brad Pitt playing Billy Beane. But you know what? I think Sean here is on the Oakland A's bandwagon. And let me say, they are having a great year, but they have been in the playoffs the last 2 years. I mean, let's go back to 2 years ago, 94 and 68, first place. Last year, 96 and 66, first place.
Yeah,
it's not as if they have gone from third place to where they are now. So can I tell you my manager of the year from the American
Hold on one
League?
second, though, Frank. Hold on one second. They are doing it with a bunch of really nobodies, aren't they, though, Frank?
That is
talent.
And
They
also
gotta
they
go
made
young.
some trades too. But hold on, that's where you get Billy Beane the executive of the year. If we're going to have words on those lines.
Yes, correct. But Billy Beane is getting. I know, but Billy Beane is getting those players for him to manage, correct?
And I will say this: hats off to Bob Melvin too for meshing in that young talent.
Yeah.
But you know what? For my manager of the year candidate out of the American League, I got to go a division that Sean is very much interested in. That is the AL East, and it is from the Toronto Blue Jays. His name is John Gibbons. Just take a look at
heck?
Take a look last year. They were 74 and 88. That was last place. This year they have gone 49 and 47 at the break, 4 games behind the Baltimore Orioles, 2.5 back of a wild card spot. Understand that this is a division normally dominated by your Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees. Well, we're seeing this year, it appears, some new life added into this division in terms of the Orioles.
With this candidate.
Go ahead.
I disagree because look what's happened with the Blue Jays. A couple weeks ago, everybody thought the Blue Jays were going to run away with the division. They go 7-17 in the last 24 games. I think the Blue Jays are going to fold and be done. And I think, like Jeff is saying, probably it's going to be Baltimore winning the AL East. That AL East is so 500, but the Blue Jays have gone downhill. I don't see John Gibbons being the manager of the year.
Okay.
Well, that's going to be, we'll see come the end of the season. But for right now, I'm going John Gibbons, my AL manager of the year.
Okay, Sean, I'm going to say one thing, and Sean's going to answer it for me, and that's who's going to be my answer, okay? Sean, who did I pick at the beginning of baseball season to win the manager of the year?
You picked the same guy I did, Bob Melvin.
There's my choice.
All right, 2 out of 1. 2-1, I lose.
No, you don't lose. That's who you pick. I happen to pick him at the beginning of the year. I'm not changing my mind. He's doing a fabulous job out there in Oakland. I'm not changing my mind whatsoever. Although Mike Scioscia has been really kicking the butts of the Angels a little bit.
I was thinking you can't do. If you look at Scioscia and the Angels, these guys are actually giving the A's a fight because it is not. I mean, this division is not a sure thing as far as the Oakland A's are concerned right now. Because look at this. Go ahead.
No, correct.
Before
you're
we
correct.
move to the next manager of the year, let me just say about the AL West, though. Okay, Oakland. Let's say they take the division.
Okay.
I say there's one team that the A's probably would not want to play in the playoffs that they have had trouble with.
And that's the Angels.
No, not the Angels. The Detroit Tigers.
Really?
Think about what the Tigers have done to them. Beat them in 5 last year, beat them in the 5 year before, beat them in the ALCS and swept them. Detroit is dangerous against the A's. I don't think they would want to play them.
Well, the A's...
Verlander's got to step it up. Scherzer's having a great year, but Verlander has got to find the fountain of youth that was just 2 or 3 years ago, as when you could say Justin Verlander was the dominant pitcher this game had. He hasn't been dominant this year, but if Justin Verlander can find that dominance he had 2-3 years ago, then you know what? If I'm an Oakland A's fan, you're right. I would be scared of potentially the Detroit Tigers here. Not just the A's, but any team in the American League.
As of right now, the Oakland A's have the best record in baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And who's second? The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, 57-37. A game and a half
AL
back.
West is going to be one heck of a race.
It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Okay.
Well, it's going to be a 2-team race.
Let's move on, Sean.
NL Manager of the Year is the next one we get to. You know who I went with? Ron Renicky of the Milwaukee Brewers. I have been impressed with what he has done. He's turned the Brewers around, and they're battling it out with the St. Louis Cardinals. Sorry, Wes, your Pirates are done. They had that magical run. Got to go with Ron Renicky. The Brewers are...
I am in agreement. Hey, final. We agree with something here. Ron Renicky is my choice at this point for National League Manager of the Year. If you take a look, this is his 4th season, and what a season it was in his first year, 2011. They win the division. Unfortunately, they lose in the NLCS to what would be the World Series champion St. Louis Cardinals. But the Brewers have trailed off the last couple of seasons since winning that division in 2011. I mean, a 3rd-place finish in 2012. Last place just a year ago, 74-88. But yeah, I got it. Or pardon me, a 4th-place finish, I should say, at 74-88. But the second best record in the NL with a mark of 53-43, absolutely. The Dodgers have a better record in the NL. Ron Renicky has definitely lit a fire with this team. And also, let's take into account, too, Ryan Braun. You don't hear much of anything about Ryan Braun in terms of that being a distraction. And I do have to credit to some degree Ron Renicky along those lines. So, Ron Renicky, NL Manager of the Year in my book to this point.
You know what? I'm going with Ron Renicky also because that's a really tough division. I was going to pick Matt Williams with Washington.
That was a tough one, too. I was looking at Matt Williams because
But I'm going to go with Ron Renicky as well. Yeah, I'm going to go with Ron Renicky as well also. Let's squeeze one more in before we go to break.
Yes.
All right, the next one that we're going to get to, we're going to go with the American League Cy Young Award. And you know who I'm going with? Tonight's starter, Felix Hernandez, 11-2 for the Seattle Mariners.
I'm going King Felix as well. He's tiptoeing the mound for the American League from the Seattle Mariners. And here's what's impressive. This is a guy that has only allowed 5 lawn balls this year. 154 strikeouts. That's second in the AL. But that doesn't do enough justice here because look at his strikeout to walk ratio, 154 strikeouts. How about 25 guys he has yielded on a base on ball? And oh yeah, that 2.12 ERA, the lowest in the AL, second in all of the majors. So King Felix, you're my Cy Young Award winner from the American League to this point.
Before we go to Jeff, there were a lot of good choices that I found there when I did some research today. Jeff, what's your take on the American League Cy Young Award?
I'm going to have to agree with you guys. Even though Tanaka has one more win than Hernandez. Tanaka's out now, though.
Yeah, that's what really took
Tanaka's
away my
out.
vote from possibly going in the direction of Tanaka from the Yankees, is that we're not going to see him the rest of the way.
Right. I mean,
Before we run to our final update real quickly,
if you're
are
gonna
the Mariners contending?
No way. No way.
They're 8 games back. It's going to be a 2-team race. It's going to be the A's and it's going to be the Angels.
And Tanaka has 135 strikeouts and only 19 walks. How about that? But I'm going to go with Frank Hernandez like you guys. Okay, we're going to run to our final update of the day. This update is brought to you by KeuregCoffeeMachines.com. For all your coffee products, you're looking for a Keurig coffee machine? Looking for coffee? You need tea? Head on over to KeuregCoffeeMachines.com. Brewing perfection, one cup at a time. That's KeuregCoffeeMachines.com. Take it away, Sean Mann, with the final update of the day.
Breaking news coming from the NFL. The Dallas Cowboys have just released Kyle Orton, a source told ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter. So that's coming in about what the Cowboys are doing there. In other NFL news, the Buffalo Bills open up training camp on Friday. The New York Football Giants open up 2 or 3 days later because the Hall of Fame game's coming up August 3rd, 2014. So the NFL in full swing, players kind of working out, getting themselves ready as training camp is right around the horizon. In the NBA, here's some more news from the NBA free agency. Dwayne Wade has agreed to a 2-year contract with the Miami Heat, so he will stay in Miami and play alongside not LeBron James, but Chris Bosh. So that's the big news coming from the NBA, as James, of course, will not be back in Miami as the Big Three has split apart. He, of course, will join the Cleveland Cavaliers. Speaking of the Cavaliers, other big news to report. Mike Miller has decided that, you know what, LeBron's going to Cleveland. I was his teammate. I'm going to go join him in Cleveland. He has decided to take a 3-year contract and play with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Does that mean that Kevin Love could say, I'm going to take my talents to Cleveland? As the news just keeps getting bigger and bigger for the NBA free agency. Paul Pierce, of course, has agreed to a 2-year contract with the Washington Wizards. Major League Baseball tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It is the 85th Major League Baseball Midsummer Classic, as the American League will host the National League. Right now, the game is not on Fox just yet because they are going to be introducing a lot of the famous players and famous names of all the All-Star games and all the greats who have played in this game. The All-Star game is scheduled to begin at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 5 p.m. Pacific. This concludes the final update on this Tuesday, July 15th, 2014. We're going to run to that final break, and this update was brought to you by KeuregCoffeeMachines.com.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, and the old windbag himself, Frank Sprankle. We're giving out our half-season MLB awards. Sean, where did we leave off, buddy?
When we last left off, we were talking about the American League Cy Young Award. Now, we are going to go to the National League Cy Young Award. For me, I went with Alfredo Simon of the Cincinnati Reds.
Interesting pick. That is a very interesting pick.
Like, if you look at all of the pitchers, Frank and Jeff, that I did the research on, there were a lot of good possibilities. It's like, oh, look at all these candidates. Look at all the good pitching that they got. But, yeah, Alfredo Simon's been incredible for the Reds.
Well, he definitely has. I mean, just look at his win total. But for me, it was a flip of the coin between Adam Wainwright and Clayton Kershaw. But I'm going with Clayton Kershaw. I know Adam Wainwright is starting tonight. I know Wainwright has more innings pitched overall as opposed to Kershaw, but take a look at the 96 and the third innings that Kershaw has pitched as opposed to Wainwright and the 138 innings that he has pitched. I want to focus here on the strikeout factors. I mean, take a look at the strikeouts. Kershaw in 96 and the third innings pitch, 126 total strikeouts. I mean, Wainwright, 115 total strikeouts in 138 innings total pitch. So Kershaw has just been more dominant. He's thrown a no-hitter, and 41 scoreless inning streak, very impressive. Clayton Kershaw, Cy Young for me.
And the Dodgers are in a tight race right now in that National League West with the Giants. Jeff, your pick for the National League Cy Young Award winner first half season award.
Adam Wainwright. Has to be Adam Wainwright. 12-4 at 1.83 RA. Come on.
It was a tough one for me.
115 strikeouts with only 27 walks.
Ooh. And here's the thing about the Cardinals, Frank. I know with you being the Cubs fan, you don't have a lot of respect for the Cardinals because of that rivalry.
I do. No, I have respect for their history and all.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying that the Cardinals know perfectly well with all their pitching that they've got and the job that Mike Matheny has done after he took over for Tony La Russa, the Cardinals just don't go away. They just find ways to stay. They just find ways to stay in it in October. They can be still a tough out to get.
You know, I may be a Cub fan, but there's a lot of respect on my part for the Cardinals, what they've been able to do winning World Series titles and the history. This is a Cardinal team that's going to be interesting to see what they can do in the second half. Should be interesting.
Josh went with NL manager Freddie Gonzalez. He went AL manager Bob Melvin. He went National League Cy Young Clayton Kershaw, and American League Cy Young was Chris Sale for Josh Lopez.
Make sure you're typing those ones down there, man.
All right. Where are we going to next, Sean?
The next one we get to, Jeff and Frank, the American League MVP. And I went with Mike Trout, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
I'll second the emotion, too. This was a tough one for me. There could have been quite a few players that I could have chosen for this award, but I have to go with Mike Trout. I second your emotion.
And how about the way the Angels have played the last few weeks, just staying in this thing? Jeff, who's your pick?
I'm going to have to go with Mike Trout, too. Unfortunately.
You know what I like about Mike Trout? The way he is patient in the batter's box. You watch Mike Trout. This is a guy that works almost every count he's in the batter's box.
Yes, he does. Josh is taking Josh Donaldson from the A's.
I don't know if Angels fans are going to agree with that one.
But here's the thing about the Angels, though. They have really come along the last couple of weeks. Everybody thinks that the A's are going to run away with this thing, but even the A's have to realize that it isn't just the Tigers that have given them trouble, but the A's have also had trouble against the Angels sometimes. I remember the Angels always battled them out sometimes in the last weekend. I can't just wait to see how the whole thing ends up in that American League West between Oakland and the Angels. That's going to be one, like I said before, heck of a race in that American League West.
You know what? I get the sense that people are talking about the Oakland A's as if they're 8.5 games up and not a game and a half out. People got to understand that this is a 5 division, that there's 5 teams in this division, and you can cross out definitely the Rangers, the Astros, and even the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners are going to have to go on a tear right now if they want to get back into this. But as far as the A's, they're only a game and a half up. I mean, they got the best record in the league, but right. They're only up by a game and a half. There are teams in various other divisions in both leagues that are up by, let's say, 6.5 games, such as the Tigers. You have the Nationals and the Braves. They're tied for first. But 7 games separates those two teams and the New York Mets. It's not as if the A's are walking away from this division.
Correct.
Well, the thing about Seattle is they're going to have – you're right. They're going to have to get on a big 10 or 15-game winning streak. They're going to have to need lots of things to go their way to get into the playoffs. And think about all that big move they got for Robinson Cano of last year in December of 2013.
Correct.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
The next one that we move to is the NL MVP. Wes, I did this for you, buddy. I went with Andrew McCutchen of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Really?
Wow, somebody likes the Pirates.
Well, the Pirates, if they can stay healthy, can be in this. And Andrew McCutchen played a big role in helping the Pirates end the 21-year misery where the Pirates didn't make the playoffs.
They're only 3.5 outs out of first. I mean, that's if you look at that NL Central, that's going to be exciting because you have 5 teams eliminate the Chicago Cubs and you have a race.
Correct. That's a fun division to watch now after the All-Star game.
Frank, your pick for National League MVP, first half.
I got to go with the prize shortstop from the Colorado Rockies, Troy Tulowitzki, that 3.45 average. Wow. Now, I could have made an argument for Giancarlo Stanton. You take a look at these two terrific hitters, both with 21 home runs, but the clincher, 345, the batting average. Oh, yeah. Not to mention the best fielding percentage among all shortstops, Troy Tulowitzki, NL MVP for me.
He was good in the home run derby last night. Jeff,
I'm taking Troy Tulowitzki, too. Not only that, his OBP, his on-base percentage is 435.
Oh, that is great.
Yeah, and his slugging percentage is 613. And
let me ask you, is he having a Tony Gwynn type year? Because I think he is.
Well, he's got to move that average up higher, more north of 70 before he's doing that.
Well, almost the closest player I think baseball has to Tony Gwynn in terms of hitting right now, I would have to say is Troy Tulowitzki.
Well, if he gets his average up to 370, 375, then I would say so, but not at 345. Are you kidding me?
All right.
Yeah. And
best average. You know what his best average for one season was?
Wow.
Tulo. 315 in 2010.
Wow. And Tulo's OPS is 1.048. That's freaking amazing. Nobody else is even closer. The next closest person is .876.
Look what the Encyclopedia man said. Giancarlo Stanton. That's a good pick, too.
I thought of it, but you know what? That average would... You know what, Encyclopedia man Josh? Encyclopedia Josh, that's what I'm going to call you. Encyclopedia Josh. That batting average of 345 is what clinched it for me.
Stanton's average is 295. His on-base percentage is 395. His slugging percentage is 538. And his OPS is .933. Not even close to Tulowitzki.
Hey, let me ask you this about Giancarlo Stanton. With LeBron now having left South Beach to return to Lake Erie, does this mean Giancarlo Stanton is going to be the new sports figure of Miami?
Yeah.
I would rule that out.
And not only that, Stanton has struck out 105 times where Tulowitzki struck out 55 times. That's the difference right there.
Even though it's amazing, the Marlins are in contention.
Right.
American League Rookie of the Year, before we go to our final commercial break, Masahiro Tanaka of the New York Yankees. I'm a Red Sox fan, but I have to say, Tanaka's got some good stuff.
Too bad he's injured. And that's an interesting choice.
6 weeks.
6 weeks. Interesting choice, but you know what? When it comes to AL Rookie of the Year, there is no quite. This is the MLB Rookie of the Year. Both leagues combined. Jose Abreu,
right.
hands down.
Hands down. Chicago White Sox, Jose Abreu, hands down.
MLB Rookie of the Year. I didn't say AL. I said MLB Rookie of the Year.
Totally agree with you.
So
you
Jeff,
can make an argument.
Jose Abreu too.
You can make an argument possibly for him also being the league MVP.
Correct. He's got 29 home runs. Am I seeing that right?
You're seeing it right. 29 home runs and 73 knocked in.
73 RBIs. That's freaking amazing.
He does strike out a lot, 82.
Right.
But with what he's been able to do, great accomplishments for the White Sox prize first baseman from Cuba.
Right. His average is under 300. It's a 292.
Which is not bad.
No. But it's the highest average in the American League for rookies.
And Jeff, you're going with Jose Abreu
Damn
too, White
skippy
Sox?
I am. Oh, yeah. Oh, big time.
Jose Abreu's the MLB Rookie of the Year. I didn't say AL Rookie. I said MLB Rookie of the Year.
I agree with you on that. He's killing everybody right now.
And I've seen him hit. He is a sight.
Yeah, he's killing everybody.
And he's one of those guys, hold on, if I could say this, Sean, he's one of those guys that you don't get up to go to the bathroom for when he's hitting.
Right.
Seriously. You don't go to the bathroom. You don't go to the
final.
concession stand for a beer. You sit.
Sean worries about people in the bathroom, dude.
We have to run to commercial break, our last one. Thanks a lot.
And on that note, we will. Sports World Radio.
I had PTSD. Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family.
We had a reunion of our unit, and you'd hear these spouses say, "Is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us." And really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too.
Don't wait until it's too late. Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Hey, welcome back, kids. That's right, final segment of our 2-hour extravagant sports journey. Let me say it that way. 2 hours sports journey here each and every Monday through Friday 6 p.m. in the East, 3 p.m. in the West, and if you live in the Central,
5 p.m.
Figure it out for yourself.
I just beat you to the punch.
I know. I was trying to beat you real quickly.
I love having both of them in there at the same time trying to beat each other. It's great. Okay, they're doing the intros to the National League right now. Let's finish up what we're doing. Where are we, Sean?
Our final one is the National League Rookie of the Year. I couldn't find anybody really good, so I just took a guess, and I went with Billy Hamilton of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
That's who I went with. I went with Billy Hamilton. Like I said, it doesn't compare to what Jose Abreu. I think Jose Abreu is the MLB Rookie of the Year, but he's played in 90 games, the most out of any NL rookie, and pretty solid 285 batting average. You don't think of him as hitting power, 5 home runs, but you know what? 65 strikeouts, somewhat impressive. And he's only committed 1 year in the field.
Okay.
Jeff?
Both of you are going with Billy Hamilton. I looked at him. I'm going to go with Eric Campbell of the Mets, first baseman.
I thought about going with, he's actually on a hitting streak. I'm not quite sure where his hitting streak is now, but he has really turned it up as of late. I would like to find out what his batting average has been really over the last 2 weeks.
Well, his batting average right now is 340.
340? Now, is that overall or the last 2 weeks?
No, that's overall. Right now
Overall.
it's 340, and his on-base percentage is 386, slugging percentage is 447, and his OPS is .833.
I thought about
the highest stats of all the rookies. So, I mean, it's to each its own, correct?
Absolutely.
To each its own.
Of course, for the Mets, when you think about this too, Frank and Jeff, Mets are in that tight race in the National League East, except for the Phillies. You rule the Phillies out. That's still kind of a race that's undecided, too. The Nationals aren't that bad. The Mets are hanging in there. If you look at that race in the National League East, that's like a 14 race, too.
Hey, did you see Samardzija? They just showed Samardzija in the practice jersey.
That's what I told you he wore. And by the way, as far as if you look at Campbell, the reason why I chose is that I chose not to make him my NL Rookie of the Year. I guess I have to go with the fact that he's played in 42 games. That was the clincher. 90 games for Hamilton as opposed to 42 by Campbell.
No, that was the one. You know, I looked at that and I looked at that and I looked at it, but
tough call for me.
I went with him anyway. Screw it.
But you know what? Jose Abreu used the. Go ahead.
The Encyclopedia man for the National League Rookie of the Year, he chose Colton Wong.
Colton Wong.
What do you think, Frank? Colton Wong on his list.
Hey, he's got that was also a possibility, but he was like third or fourth down on my list. Having a good season, but I chose to go with Hamilton, like you, Sean.
But Frank, I was going to ask you, going back to the National League East, you had an opinion about your thoughts on the National League East?
Well, as far as the National League East goes, I mean, look at the Nationals and the Braves. I had a chance to see the Braves over the weekend against the Cubs. They were in Chicago for a 3-game series. I went to the Sunday game, and it was won by the Braves 10-7. They took the series 2 out of 3. But that's going to be, you know what? I think back to my prediction. Remember before the season began, we had our baseball prediction. I said that this division was going to come down potentially to the last week of the regular season, and it was going to be between the Nationals and the Braves.
And are you surprised that the Nationals are doing so well with Matt Williams as manager?
Not at all, because he has a great baseball mind. I remember Matt Williams. We're talking about 1994. He was actually on pace to potentially break Roger Maris's record that season. Remember, it was him and Ken Griffey Jr. into the mix. Many years as a ball player. Not surprised with what the Nationals are bringing, what he's bringing to the table as far as the Nationals.
Yeah, it should be an interesting first half since the first half is over, but then the second half resumes on Friday.
They give him that extra day this year, right?
Yeah, and I don't like this at all, that MLB, because I remember they always gave the players and the teams a day off, then they resumed on Thursday. But now I don't like this idea of playing today and then you have 2 extra days off. I think it's a waste.
I like the 2 extra days off. I believe that every team should have I believe Friday should be the return day. I think that everybody should return on one day. I don't think it should be on Thursday like it used to be. And by the way, can I say, I got to get this in. I know we only got a few minutes left. I'm not quite sure what time it is, but Thursday night on MLB Network, they are airing a special commemorating the 25th anniversary, and Sean, you're going to love this, of the release of Field of Dreams.
Yes, and Field of Dreams is a great movie. It's like a real tear-jerker toward the end. Should be a good one to see. I went to the Field of Dreams in Iowa, and that was pretty cool to see that. Kevin Costner was there a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, one of my favorite actors of all time is Costner. He's one of my top 3 actors. I can tell you my other 2 at a later time, but he is one of my top 3 actors, Kevin Costner. But you look at what the Field of Dreams, that's something I got to visit one day. And by the way, if anyone sees my Twitter page, that is what I have. I have a picture of the Field of Dreams on there.
You just keep dreaming, buddy.
My question to you, though, with the second half resuming, do we see, Jeff and Frank, do you see anybody that could surprise a lot of people in the second half? Because, the critical stretch of August and September coming up, and that's the heat of the pennant race.
Well, first of all, we're going to have to see what trades transpire, because after the All-Star break, that's what you're going to hear after the All-Star break, and I'm sure we're going to be talking about it over the couple weeks to come, is who is going to go, who possibly is going to go, what teams could use this, what teams can use that. That's what it's going to come down to in terms of any team making a run here. Now, as far as the A's, what a season they have had. But I do think the Angels have potential to potentially overtake them. I mean, look at that, 57 and 37. I was even thinking of giving my Manager of the Year award to Mike Scioscia potentially, just for the pace that they have been able to keep up with the A's. Now, here's another thing, too. Kansas City, they're 6.5 games back. Do they make a run? Because remember, a few weeks ago, they were just dominating everybody.
Who, the Royals?
Mm-hmm.
Well, of course, I'm looking at the picks here. Jeff even had the Royals as a pick for the American League wild card. Don't rule them out. They're that young team. Remember, last year they went 86 and 76, and everybody had in Kansas City some high expectations. But
they're 2.5 back, by the way.
Yeah,
2.5 back are the Royals.
I still say that Detroit Tigers still hold the edge for the American League Central. You have to give the edge to them. They still have. I know Verlander's got to do better, Frank, but they got Max Scherzer, and everybody thought the loss of Prince Fielder would hurt them. And I thought, no, Tigers still have a lot of talent on that team.
Royals, not only do they have Miguel Cabrera, they also have a pretty solid DH at Victor Martinez. This is a guy that's hitting 310.
Hey, Kansas City is 6.5 behind Detroit.
Yeah, 6.5. So they're going to need a miracle just to do it. Remember, the Royals haven't made it in 29 years to the season, so that's a long drought too.
And they want it out there in Kansas City bad, man. Trust me, I know. I lived out there for a little while. They want it bad out there.
Because they haven't had a lot to cheer about in Kansas City.
Nope.
Chiefs made the playoffs, but then, of course, they blew that playoff game to Andrew Luck and the Colts. But, they want it bad to bring some playoff baseball back.
I guarantee you, when the Royals make the playoffs at one point, or ever it's this season as a wild card, I don't see them getting in the division. I see the Tigers winning that division. I do see the Royals potentially maybe getting in as a wild card. They're only 2.5 back of the Angels and the Mariners right now. But if the Royals can get into the postseason, it's going to be a holiday-type atmosphere in Kansas City.
They'll rejoice in there. Oh.
Just for making the playoffs. You don't have to win the World Series. You don't even have to win a playoff round. Just get in.
Think about the Pirates last year. When the Pirates made it to the playoffs, even though they lost in 5 games, they were electrified in Pittsburgh. And the one man that I always had to hear it from, and Jeff too, was Wes. Wes was all happy that the Pirates finally made it to the playoffs and ended 21 years of misery.
Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. Hey, we're going to get the flock out of here. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us today. We really appreciate it. For Sean Mann, Jeff Escow, and Frank Sprankle, you've been listening to Sports World Radio. Remember, you only have one life to live. Live it long, live it strong, and live it proud. And please don't forget, life may suck, but the alternative is unacceptable.
Amen.
Peace out, everybody. We will see you tomorrow.
Later.
Hey, boy, Stimpy. We sure had fun today, didn't we? So long, kids. Come on, Stimpy, say goodbye.
Where are we going?
The show's